As data center demands surge, efficiency and performance are no longer optional, they're essential. According to the International Energy Agency, power demand will more than double by 2030. Today I'm joined by David Melendrez from AMD and Allen Clingerman from Dell Technologies to explore how the Dell PowerEdge M7725 with AMD EPYC is helping partners lead the way in data center modernization, HPC, and AI infrastructure. Welcome, David and Allen. Now let's begin with the broader market context. As customers' expectations evolve, what's driving the current wave of data center transformation? And how are power, cooling, and consolidation shaping those conversations?
Great question. You look at the data center right now, it's crowded and it's underpowered. And so modernizing that data center has become the mantra of what customers are hearing from Dell and from AMD. Taking out that old equipment and replacing it with new. But not just replacing with new, it's also minimizing your floor space and your power consumption. There's a 7-to-1 consolidation capability now between old Intel model product to new AMD Dell PowerEdge servers. And what you're seeing as a result is an expansion of the capability for both power and cooling, and freeing up that space and getting that infrastructure ready for AI.
Yeah, I think that was a great call out, David. And I think also in context of the workloads are changing, and a lot of people are looking at traditional like hyperconverged environments over the last 5 or 6 years to simplify their overall maintenance of those platforms. Now, because of artificial intelligence and high performance analytics, things are going more disaggregated, right? More to what we're thinking about in the old 3-tier architectures, because high performance is required, right? We're building F1 cars, and I think you did a great job of kind of extolling the challenges there around, hey, customers are really challenged at the rack envelope powers that they have available to them, but yet, and they want to think about the return on future that might come from artificial intelligence, but yet they don't have the floor space or power to get it done. How are they going to do that? They're going to have to use incredible platforms, right, from AMD with that 7-to-1 consolidation to free up that resource to pursue their efforts.
Now let's talk about how technology is meeting those demands. How is the Dell PowerEdge M7725 with AMD EPYC helping customers boost efficiency and performance in real-world deployments?
That's a great one. And I think everybody's really challenged, just given what I just said of, like, we're moving to this world that's more disaggregated than ever because it takes high performance architectures across compute, networking, and storage to drive these modern workloads. We've even had to rethink our own platforms. When I think about the M7725, it was an evolution from our existing C series, which for those partners that have sold out there of the 2U 4-node form factors we're used to selling, we couldn't fit anything in that same space in the same rack constraints and power, right? Given all the higher TDPs of the incredible technologies we're bringing to market, we need to think about things differently and build them for dense compute, because it's going to take more compute to get these real-time outcomes that customers are looking for. And in this case, in our large IRSS 7000 rack that's built on open compute platform standards, we can fit up to 27,000 cores per rack. Like, that's incredible. I still can't believe it myself. 27,000 cores per rack using the latest AMD EPYC 9005. And we think about it in context of either, no matter what the workload is, if it's AI, I'm probably going to pursue common Zen 5 architecture. If it's some of our largest CSP customers might be thinking about this for serverless or microservices based architectures where they want more cores and don't need all the performance of that is in Zen 5, where we can pack it even tighter, right? That's how we get to that 27,000 cores per rack. So pretty incredible. And while we did all that, we had to think about how do we do that with efficiency in mind, to make sure that we're doing this that's not producing a lot of heat. And so that we think about it in the capture of neutral heat capture within the platform using technologies like our PowerCool, our rear door heat exchanger, to make sure that we're reducing this and making sure that we're as efficient as we can while bringing all this very dense compute to these modern workloads.
Now, no surprise, AI is evolving so fast. How are Dell and AMD helping partners simplify adoption from silicon to software to open source tools so customers can move faster and scale smarter?
Well, we're really excited in the new platforms to have some brand new, AMD on AMD efforts, where now we've got AMD CPU and AMD GPUs working together and what we've dubbed the Dell AI platform with AMD. And we've worked very hard to make sure that we've got a good set of open ecosystem software tools, obviously powered by all the hard work that AMD has done with the ROCm software stack. And then how do we help it make it more easily deployable for customers, right? Like I want a single click deployment for this model to start getting return on employee for example, to make sure that I'm getting good productivity. Everybody loves AI or a good prompt, right, for productivity enhancement. Why would I not want to have a single click deployment that I can bring a private, protected, secure model on-prem, setting on the latest, AMD and Dell technologies? We have that with the Dell Enterprise Hub and Hugging Face with optimized models for all of the AMD platforms we're bringing to market together. And then we think about it probably finally in the context of, as I start to scale this out, I need high performance networking. And as part of that AI platform with AMD, we're doing some really cool things together with Broadcom with 200 gig networking. And what do you think about efficiency, right? And it's not just efficiency at the compute layer, as I described about the M7725, but efficiency all the way at scale at the networking layer. Because one thing a lot of people don't realize is how much power is consumed of just optics today. As you start going to these dense environments, the optics can make up easily 25 to 30% of your overall power footprint. So we're leveraging and bringing to market linear pluggable optics, which is a way to reduce the power requirements. We remove the DSP from the optics and reduce power by 50% on the networking layer. So we're thinking about this, an end-to-end approach of hardware, networking, and software stacks, right, powered by AMD hardware and software to make it easier for customers to achieve outcomes faster.
Thank you, Allen and David, for joining me here today. Definitely a world of opportunities with Dell and AMD. To learn more about transforming your data center and AI readiness, visit the website on your screen. For the Channel Company, I'm Kenna Johnson.